Good morning, noon, evening or night, depending when you're watching this video. My name is Legend and welcome back to World of Tanks in the NBTT'ay Replay, where we feature the best replay of the NBTT clan. And today we are watching iTzGodlyz playing in his AMBT. NBTT. It has somewhat of a similar sound to it, don't you think? NBTT, AMBT. Yeah, nice fit right there. So, as a medium, he is going to the city center, which is an unconventional location. Most of the mediums would prefer to go to the smaller town in the open field. However, acquiring this position allows him to get view through the central avenue towards the other side of the map. Well, it doesn't spot anything for a bit, but he is able to counter that notorious position at the E8/E9 bushes. But eventually a CS gets spotted in front of that position, okay, quite peculiar, and iTzGodlyz punishes that play by shooting all 3 of his clipped shots. Being an auto reloader, he predicts that after the CS, nothing else will poke around there for a while. Note also that he switches towards cold APCR, because he also has regular APCR, as he expects heavy tanks to advance this location a little bit more. During his reload, he can observe the other flanks and finds out that his left side is getting more vulnerable as his only nearby teammate gets shut down. And iTzGodlyz has only 1 shot to fire back at the projectile as of now, who also chose the non-conventional heavy tank position as a medium. But after some more observation, iTzGodlyz goes for the LT-432 in the middle, and right here he actually waits for his second shot in the clip to reload before engaging the LT, getting him an additional shot of damage, estimating that the Nomad and the XM57 keep the enemies scared enough not to push his position, which can actually happen quite easily. Or at the very least, the Nomad can act like a warning system if enemies are peeking that corner. So during the long reload, a random event is being announced, and as the destruction commences, he tries another peek but gets spotted and fired back at from the town. After that peek and damage taken, he takes it a little bit more easy after he fully reloads again and warns the T-28 not to overexpose himself. The first point of some extra communication skills that iTzGodlyz is going to show here in this battle. He also recognizes a possibility to counter the Somoa through the newly created passage, and after killing him with 2 well-aimed shots, he tries to cross and help the ally advance and take claim of that passage. He waits once again to be fully reloaded, and by doing that he has enough rounds to kill off the enemy 50p. And this shows you how important your shell management is in a auto reloader. Also, with autoloaders has also a little bit of shell management you have to take care of, but especially auto reloaders where the extra shell you fire might actually mean that, well, if it either hits or doesn't hit, nevertheless it has to count because you are hammering your DPM that way. And he wants to do it again against the CS, going for 2 shots into the tank, but before he can connect his first shot, he got kill-stealed by an ammo rack from the ally XM57 and gives him the presumably sarcastic thanks, but also tells him to fall back, recognizing that the enemy has the number advantage right now on the flank after the KV-4 and T-103 got killed. He expects the enemy pushing more aggressively, getting towards a position near the cap circle. However, the enemies are quite passive, so along with the XM, he gets back towards the front line, motivating his XM team member to advance with him. So some other parts of communication right here. Trying to get your teammates in a position that you want, being able to support you when necessary, and with the number advantage going towards the enemy team, you definitely want all the help you need if you are going to be forced back towards the front line. But then he gets surprised by the AT-15. Trying to get a shell in, he actually gets himself a little bit overexposed. Not sure if the AT-15 would hit him if he was more careful with trying to take that shot, but he correctly saves one shell again, getting his reload to a complete magazine quicker and being able to clip the AT-15 to death, and shortly after being able to also kill the projectile with his quicker reload of the second shell in his clip, which otherwise would take a couple seconds longer if it was his third. Yet another example how important it is to save as many shells as you can get. It's not always the best choice to fire all your shells as quickly as possible, especially if you are encountering multiple enemies at close distances. But the danger hasn't lapsed, as his XM ally dies. For some reason he keeps an incomplete clip for a short while, still having his premium APCR. I myself would have gone for the full reload right now, but by keeping his current clip he gets another shot in the enemy XM, I guess. But after that he does indeed decide to fully reload a non-premium clip, trying to get back at 3 rounds. But the next encounter he gets caught him out in the same location again, but gets a very lucky bounce from the XM that should have killed him in this case. But while we pretty much see every great battle having one ginormous lucky moment, this was it for iTzGodlyz. From here out, it's all skill, I swear. But in that particular moment he was quite lucky. No skill right there needed for the RNG gods to completely favor him. Because right now, with a bit more controlling and collective, he gets around the XM, who gets occupied with the Nomad and also bounces or misses him. Yeah, he really doesn't have the best of games, and iTzGodlyz happily puts him out of his misery. Now the city is far less populated, being now mostly a graveyard. iTzGodlyz's next encounter is with the Panther 8.8, which presents him with an easy challenge to deal with, having once again enough rounds to clip him out. And at the final approach, he has to tread a bit more careful against the Charioteer, but even then he gets a shot in. With the Charioteer moving away, it was the last chance he got. He doesn't get closer than that, but that definitely is not the end of the world, with the results that concludes this battle. So, looking at the post-game stats, you first notice that I'm using a different source for the battle results screen, because WoT Replays, I guess, is dead. It's not working anymore for a while now, but I luckily still was able to get these post-battle results screen with the WoT Records website, which I'm going to use from now forwards. So this battle was of course an ace tanker with the high caliber award Top Gun and Sniper, which is actually quite a feat in this tank because it's not one of the most accurate tanks. But well, it's no surprise with the WoT score of 16.6 thousand. Well, it's better be an ace tanker. Funny that the WoT Replays is also displaying this WoT score right here. But luckily it also displays the important scores that we always look at, and that was his near 7,500 1000 damage gain, which gets him over 90,000 base experience. Now, he did fire almost all of his gold rounds, however, alongside with some mission rewards, he got a very decent profit of over 200,000 credits with his premium account, of course. So in this game, we saw a medium tank locating at an unconventional position, which normally gets occupied by heavy tanks. But itzGodlyz makes it work. By trusting his teammates to keep the enemies at bay, he luckily doesn't get contested on that particular location and is able to get some distant shots off. Also countering tanks that are traversing through that central avenue, and also taking quite the advantage from the changed terrain with the random event. Location was very important, and we saw itzGodlyz excellently expecting all kinds of scenarios, having the correct timings on either pushing through or falling back. Even some of those scenarios did pan out a little bit differently. I believe that all these plays with more careful and calculated intent made his tank last longer with conserving more HP, which he did need in some occasions that he was caught out by some enemy tanks, especially against that XM, which would have killed him, but luckily we got that bounce off right there. And lastly, we saw an excellent use of his auto reloading clip, expertly choosing when to fire either one shot, two shot, when to reload fully, when to reload to the second shot only, and by doing that, getting the jump off multiple enemies. The best example was against that AT-15, where he first fired one shot, then he reloads back to a full clip, shoots two to counter the AT-15, shoots the second one who was reloaded faster immediately at the projectile, and still having one shot left after that if another enemy would have pushed his position. So a ton of learning points we can get from this battle. Nothing really surprising when itzGodlyz is playing one of these high experience games. So I do believe you can learn something from this video. And with that, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Laters.